What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with a Chicago song for the first time. Thank you again to Kim for sharing a bunch of tunes relevant to issues this weekend and concepts that we've been talking about more generally. And this is apparently from their Chicago Transit Authority album, which is very funny for a band named Chicago to have that as their, I think, debut album title, 1969, though this is a remastered version of Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is? Which I find to be an amusing title. She did mention this song relates to ideas about disillusionment, the way in which that malaise or emotional fatigue and disconnection tends to begin with people focusing more and more on themselves and being less concerned with or less connected to others and their plights, their struggles, their situations, their experiences, and how the more that happens, the more society as a whole heads toward this disillusioned state. She did also mention there's a number of horns in the track, which people who know this channel will be aware I'm often quite fond of, so let's give it a listen. This is a tune by Chicago from their 1969 debut album, which is, again, the Chicago Transit Authority, and this is a remastered version of Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is?
As I was walking down the street one day, a man came up to me and asked me what the time was that was on my watch. Yeah, I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody street one day, a pretty lady looked at me and said her diamond watch had stopped cold dead. And I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? If so, I can't
I don't know what I expected because I don't know Chicago's work, but yeah, it was lighter and jazzier and a bit dissonant in the beginning. Indeed, that opening was crazy. It was like if someone took like the type of music you hear in the Peanuts, that sort of free-flowing jazz, but then made it a bit more dissonant and wicked, and like the keys were not just played with a bit of forte, but also like a bit manically, like they were stabbed chords on the piano. And then it shifted very dramatically, and the trumpet comes in, and it has a lighter feel, but it does seem lyrically, as I caught it, by the end, like it's kind of everyone's out for themselves. They're, people pushing and like getting other people out of the way, and they're not even other people. They're just sort of impediments to getting to where they need to be by the time they need to be. And, he says, what is it, like everyone's whining, and he's talking about people not caring, and it sounds like everyone really is just caught up in the mad world, the rat race of modern society, and the, timelines, deadlines, the expectations, to the point where they're kind of tuning out the rest of humanity, and they're not so much concerned about what other people are doing or what they're saying, or someone asked a question, obviously, like the specifics about the do you know what time it is, asking what time it is on the watch on his wrist or whatever, that could be like, well, I don't know if this is wound correctly, or I don't know if it's keeping good time or whatever, but it almost sounds like he just doesn't want to answer, and it's like, hey, does anyone really know what time it is? And there's this disconnect between people individually and the narrator and people more broadly, and it sounds like other people feel the same about him. He's just another person on the street. Everyone's running different ways. And then it feels like the song is actually manifesting that, because there's like a spoken voice behind that's in different time, different rhythm, a different cadence. It's sort of almost like battling with the lead sung vocal for your attention, for your focus, and then the like sung supporting vocals, they're also running in a different rhythm and layer. So it's like the song itself is speaking to the way that people are just kind of on their own trajectories, and they're not really minding what other people are doing or trying to coordinate or be in harmony with other people. So it seems to manifest the very perspective that the narrator is describing in its sonic and rhythmic arrangement, which I thought was clever. So yeah, some great horn work, in particular the trumpet was really sounding nice, really engaging, charismatic, and almost surprising piano work. And as I said, I'm not knowing Chicago, I didn't quite know what to expect, nor do I know if this is reflective of much of their larger body of work, or if this is in some ways more sonically anomalous. But yeah, I expected, let's say, more guitars, like a slightly heavier sound. So I was intrigued by, and I enjoyed the sonic arrangement here. So yeah, another cool one. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.